Hello everybody, welcome to another video from M3BIK, and on this video I'm just showing you my portable mobile setup for recording from a scanner. Any particular scanner I want to use, as long as it's got a 3.5mm audio plug on it. This is how I do it. I've got an app on my phone that I use for the recording. I use the USB-C plug on the bottom of my phone there that goes to a couple of different adapters, and they then connect to the scanner, and I've got a set of earphones plugged in there in the middle for the monitoring of the audio, so I can hear what's going on. And this setup works well if you're out and about. This video was taken when I was in London recently, just showing you the setup, but I also use the same setup when I'm in my car as well, parked up obviously. It works well with the headphones because you then don't have to have the audio routed through speakers where people are going to hear things that they potentially wonder what they're going to hear, so it's better for just the headphones. So let me just freeze on this image here and just show you the setup that I've actually got. To start with, any particular scanner with a 3.5mm socket on it, for me, that's how I do it. So on my mobile phone, it's a Android phone, so I'm using an app called HiQ MP3 Recorder, and this is a really good app for recording audio. So what I've got there is I've got a USB-C cable adapter, and it's one of those with a USB-C end plugs into the bottom of my phone, as highlighted there, and then if you follow that little cable out, you can see there's two plugs on it. There's one that's a mic socket and one that's a speaker plug, which I don't actually use in this setup. So if we follow the cable where it says mic socket there, we can see my mic socket there plugs into a 3.5mm audio splitter. Now that's just one of those normal type audio splitters where you can use them for headphone splitters, and things like that, one in, two out. So it's just one of those, couple of pound from any eBay, Amazon, any site like that. So one side of those I've got my earphones going to, and obviously so I can listen, and the other side there is coming from the scanner. So you can see the yellow plug at the top of my scanner. You can't actually follow the cable, it's not too easy to follow, but if you follow it down to that double adapter plug, you can see a yellow plug sticking out there where it says 3.5mm cable from plug to scanner. So I've got a short length of cable there going into that splitter. That allows me to monitor the audio on my headphones, and it goes, plugs into the mic socket on that USB, and that's then recorded. And that's obviously recording the clean audio. There's no distraction of anything that's going on around me. It's just recording that audio feed in, and the actual splitting of the signal into the earphones actually works quite well. Now I did try and do this a different way, because you can do it with the headphone. On my phone you've got the sort of like the audio jack is one that you can use a microphone and the headset on, and I did have an adapter for that, and I've lost the adapter, so I bought a cheap one, another one off eBay, and it didn't actually work. So I ended up buying this USB-C adapter, which works quite well. The only downside of this is obviously I can't charge my phone while I'm listening to the audio or recording it, because it's going through. Now there is some adapters that you can buy that split again, so that you can charge while you're doing something like this and splitting the audio, but I didn't buy that particular adapter, but you can. So if you've got one of those adapters and this picture makes sense, hopefully you'll understand where I'm coming from. Now on the earphones socket side there, where it says earphones just on the right hand side near the top, near that box on the picture, now that I have in the past had another cable. It also does work if I'm in my car. I can plug a normal 3.5mm cable from that socket there into my auxiliary in on my car, and I can listen to it through my car radio as well. Now that's good if you say driving around or something like that, and you just want to always record your audio and things like that while you're driving around. you're not too bothered about the audio being played in the car. So that's another method I do use. But when I'm parked up or I'm just out and about somewhere, I've got the earphones on because it's easier. I tend to park up somewhere, you know, high up or whatever, and you can just sit there with your earphones in, and you're not, the audio isn't, you know, blaring out and distracting anyone if you've got your windows open or anything like that. And obviously the audio is being recorded on the app. I just leave it recording at all times, so whatever I'm doing on the scanner is being recorded. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you that. That's my portable setup for recording. It's, yeah, it looks like a bit of a bodge, and it is a bit of a bodge. Like I said, I did recently take that to London with me, and that picture was taken in my hotel room in London, 3 floors up, just doing a bit of monitoring at the time on the FM bands at some community and pirate base stations. But yeah, that's how I've got my setup. If you've got a similar setup or it's giving you some ideas how to record, do let me know. One thing I will say, my phone is a Android Samsung phone, and don't go asking me any questions about iPhones because I don't know anything about how you do this on an iPhone. So please don't ask me about iPhones. I can tell you about Samsung and how my Samsung works, but unfortunately I don't know what's possible on an iPhone. Of course, if you've got an old mobile phone, you could use this method with an old mobile as well. I did actually think that myself, keeping my original phone and then using a really cheap old mobile for just a recording element, which would work great. Okay, thanks for watching this video, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it.